I'm just trying to remind myself what it's all about. I've been getting really ambitious and driven, inspired, knowing that we've got a little one on the way. But I can also get quite lost in all of the business and career, networking, connections, and all of that. I don't want to lose myself in it. I've been deliberately bringing myself back to the present moment more than ever. And it's funny because I don't do it. My intention is to do it, and I come home and I'm like, we're just going to do dinner. I'm just going to hear about my partner's day, and well, dinner happens. And then she'll ask me about something later and I didn't hear it. It didn't compute. I've been distracted in that moment. So I'm keeping track of how much I'm not paying attention. My mind is very busy. There's a lot going on. There's more going on than ever before, because I don't know if it happens to everyone when you find out there's a baby on the way, but it just feels like a time limit kicks in. And I don't know if you've ever played any kind of game where there's a timer, but it makes you kind of frantic. It makes you rush things, and it makes you lose your focus. It makes you impulsive, and you actually lose a little bit of your natural ability if you allow that to consume you. I'm just thinking of games. There's a game that we played at my dad's house where you got to sink all the balls on the table, and it's before this song ends and the song speeds up, and it gives you this sense of urgency. And urgency's been the theme that I've been mindful of lately. And as you rush to win the game, you actually start to make poor shots, and you waste your time because you're not as focused as you could be if you didn't think about the timer at all. That's really what I want to come back to, is just the timer is imaginary. It's not 9 months and then that's it. You're locked into whatever reality that you've managed to create in that 9 months. It just means that we've got an extra team member and she's a part of it now. But I do want to get as much done as I possibly can before she arrives, because I don't want to I just want to spend every second that I can with her when she gets here. Because I've always wanted this, and I always thought that I wasn't capable of it. And in the last couple of years, I've healed so much and grown so much, and now I'm actually here and I'm really excited for it. There's a lot of things to consider being a new dad. If anybody else is at a similar part of the journey, expecting the first child, a lot of opinions, a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to be worried about in the world. I know some people have responded when I've shared that we're having a baby, really reactively, why would you bring a child into this world in the state that it's currently in, with all of the chaos? And my answer to that is simply I'm not bringing a child into that world that you're describing. I'm bringing a child into my world, into my reality, and what we're going to create together. And yeah, we're not completely victim to all of the chaos and turbulence in the world. Like, we have the power to create what we want to create within that. I am nervous though. I actually feel much more vulnerable just sitting in this room and soaking up the reality of it. Maybe even realizing that I've been avoiding the reality of it by keeping myself so busy, because my heart rate is fast right now. Like, I know she's coming, but it's like the less that I think about it, the less I'm going to get this anticipation feeling that's like, that makes my heart race and makes me like unsure in a way. I get triggered by little silly things around this, like that. Like, it's hard to trigger me. It's hard to affect me, but it's a whole new journey. It's like, I've just finished healing all this stuff, like feeling like I'm finally enough and that I've got my way to contribute to the world. And I'm connected to really good people and everything. And then it's like you're starting a totally new game where none of that, you can't bring any of that experience with you. Like, I don't know how to do this. But at the same time, I do. At the same time, it's like you start to think about, okay, if I don't know how to do this, like, what do I need to learn? And then you sort of think about, like, how much knowledge can I acquire about doing this? And it's like, most of it's going to be on the job training, like, it's going to be practical, real life experience. You're going to, and it's going to be people around you just giving you their little bits and pieces of advice and guidance. It's pretty cool. In classic Kai fashion, I've like imagined the entire future, like every possible fork in the road. Like, if like it begins here and there's like all these possible futures that branch out from it. Like, I've visualized like so much stuff. Like, and I've visualized it with 2 kids. So like, I've already imagined it all. Like, once they're this age, then we'll be able to do this. And like, I've imagined so much stuff. And like, imagination is creative, It's like, that's the first step to everything that exists in reality. Like, you imagine. And I've done a lot of imagining for my little family here. And that never would have begun if the universe didn't just give me that little nudge. Just, yeah, bring about this conception. Because I was scared. Like, I was always talking to people about having children. And like, it's been for years too. For years I've been talking about having kids. And that's been like something that I've almost had a fixation about, but told myself that I'm not ready. And so many people told me, like, just, you'll never be ready. Like, you've just got to do it. And once you actually have the child, you'll figure it out. Like, everything will figure itself out. And there's genuine reasons why I didn't take that advice on, like, because I've seen a lot of people who, like, the kinds of people sometimes who give you that advice, like, it's fine, like, you can just have some kids, you'll figure it out. And I'm like, nah. No judgment, like, I don't want to be judgy, but, like, I don't want to be still, like, so much of a mess myself. Like, that was my fear. Like, I was scared that I was just going to mess up the kid because I was messed up. So without judging anybody else, I'm just like, that's what was happening inside of me. Like, people would say, it's fine, you can just have some kids. It's like, no, I'm not having kids while I'm still drinking alcohol, or like while I'm, like, no, like, you do whatever you want. Like, I'm not saying that this is what you must do, but, like, this is just my video diary. It's never intended to be advice or guidance. I'm just expressing what I'm thinking and feeling in the present moment. And, like, I didn't want to be drinking alcohol or having any kinds of drugs or any addictions or, like, emotional issues that were just creating, like, conflict in the household all the time that was going to be traumatic for the children. Like, I know there's always going to be stuff, and there's always going to be challenges, and it's never going to be perfect, but I just wanted to have, like, a nice, tidy internal reality for myself, like, and be calm within myself before I started this journey. And I guess I kind of arrived at a place where I was, like, ready to have kids, and then I just kept tidying. Like, I just kept, like, cleaning myself up and healing and healing and healing, like, and avoiding it. So, yeah, maybe I could have done this sooner. But I have learned a lot in the last few years that I needed to learn. I needed to overcome all my stuff around, like, drugs and alcohol. I needed to deal with a lot of my trauma and emotional issues. And I needed to, like, master my relationship with money as well, because financial strain is going to be the biggest. Like, it's one of the things that is the easiest to cause stress, I feel, in a family. So I'm really out of excuses to, like, oh, it's interesting that I use the word excuses. I'm just observing my own language. Like, I'm out of excuses to not have a family. I'm so blessed, like, I'm so grateful that, like, just the best people just all ended up around me, and the best partner, and the best, like, location, the best, like, it all just fell into place so beautifully. Like, it couldn't be any better. Which I hope is a testament to, like, just do what you know you need to do in this moment to make you the best choice that you can for yourself in this moment, and just do that every day for long enough, and you'll arrive in a place that's just the best. It's not like rocket science. It's like, I chose simply that, like, I don't want this pain anymore. I'm going to find something better. And I did what I needed to do. And I explored everything that I needed to explore to find my path so that I could be free. And here I am. It could be the end of the movie, you know. It could, like, I could be, you know, it could be the end, a conclusion for the novel, you know, if it was a story. This is the happily ever after, like, moment. And then, like, perhaps there's a sequel, you know, and that's coming. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a whole new story. This is like nothing else I just finished all this other stuff, and then there's something that I know nothing about to proceed with. There's so much I could say. Like, I think I'm going to be a really cool dad, to be honest, because I want to be, and I'm capable of, like, I've done all this stuff to make it awesome. I've been working on this project of myself, of making myself enough to be a really good dad for so long. And I'm so excited to create a little universe for a small child. And, you know, all the stuff that I'm interested in and all the stuff that I do, I just feel like is automatically and naturally so enriching and nourishing for the spirit of a child or an adult, for all of us. Like, I've made my life all about living life really well and capturing moments. Like, live life really well and document it. That's kind of like what I do. And that's like one side of me. And then the other side of me is human nature, mental health, healing. Like, it's just, I'm just really happy where I am right now. And I feel totally this is how I would have imagined I would like to feel with a child on the way. But I totally could have gone another 20 years and not thought about conceiving. Like, oh, yeah, it's like divine intervention or something, you know, like the universe just stepped in and goes, all right, you're ready. Just thought I'd share, you know, a little bit deeper, show you a little bit more of like what's really going on inside of me. This feels like behind the scenes. This feels like, you know, you see all this stuff, this is what I'm thinking about, this is what I'm processing. I've got different things, you know, but this is what it's actually all about. This is what I'm doing it for. Like my little family. There's a lot of cool things on the way. There's a lot of cool things that I'm capable of and that I've already set up that haven't even begun yet. And I'm kind of ramping everything down now, all of my video projects and career stuff, because I'm preparing like for a bit of time for myself, because I want to be around for the really precious moments. If you get anything out of these videos, please pass them on to somebody else you know who may benefit. Maybe this particular video you can share with somebody who's expecting. Maybe some of the things that I've shared would be helpful or calming, you know, like maybe you're freaking out. Maybe someone you know is freaking out about it. It'll be all right. It's exciting. Yeah. I feel like I'm a totally different Kai to the one that you're used to. All you regular viewers, all of you people who have watched me go through transformation after transformation in rapid succession, thank you. Thank you for any little comments and kind words, or even sharing your own stories. It's like I'm not alone. Other people are going through their stuff fearlessly as well. I'll see you when I'm looking at you. I might do more like this where you can sort of see more of the picture, because I got these wireless mics now too.